Hi, I'm Mike and today I'm taking a look at the library that I've been making not too long ago. It's looking a little bare. What could be missing? Oh yeah, the books. So I'm gonna make books and add stuff to my bookshelf. So obviously the thing that's like the easiest but the most expensive would be to buy books. So the ones that are currently sitting in here are from my Mini Brands books. I've opened 2 capsules. I did just purchase another one specifically for this video, so at the end I'll open them. But these ones have like the first 2 pages, maybe, I don't know, first few pages with actual words, and then the rest is like gibberish, but they're like openable, okay? You can see them. And there's all different kinds of sizes, which is really nice. I mean, like, that's a subtle difference, but then, like, the largest one, which is what I based the majority of my shelves off of so it could fit this book, is this one, which is significantly different. But I like that there's all different kinds of sizes as well as thicknesses. I also have, I think the only other books that I have in here that isn't Mini Brands is these, which are, where'd the other one go? Oh, it's literally in the back corner. Apologies. Okay. These, they're not real, actually, books. They're little keychains, and I don't know what that is. Maybe like a foam board that's been colored? Maybe wood? That kind of makes sense. Anyways, I got it for when I was making dorm rooms because I thought they looked like books, and they were obviously, I mean, this one's Alice in Wonderland. So I was like, that would be perfect to go in some of my dolls' rooms. But now they're going to go in here, and they are significantly smaller. Like, here it is compared to the biggest book. Like, they're literally half the size, but they're like compared to this. So they're going to be significantly smaller. But obviously, I was looking at like displays, and some of them are like this and some of them are like that, so I was thinking I could do a lot with that. But if you see, actually, I'll give me a quick second, I'll show you. Okay, so I have 9 books, which I feel like doesn't make any sense because shouldn't there be 10 books? I don't know if one of these isn't a part of it, but I just thought it was. Anyways, I don't know. But here's like a little shelf that we have, plus the 2 little tiny books, okay? Boop and boop. This isn't going to fill much of the shelf, okay? Not at all. Like, it's gonna barely fill a section. So I'm going to start making some other books. The other option is you could obviously go to Amazon and order. There's like little bookshelf things. I heard that they're awfully small, so I did order some, but I don't know if they'll even be here by the end of the video. It did tell me that it made it into customs, maybe. Anyways, so it's eventually gonna get here. I have a feeling they're gonna be this size, which is awfully small. I mean, here it is in my doll Alyssa's hand. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not a great size. So we'll see what they look like. And yeah, and those ones are not ones that can open. I think the best ones, if you want like a realistic looking book, would be these, but I'm gonna start making some, and then obviously one of the reasons that I thought would be really fun to make this is I've wanted to oh my gosh, can I speak today? I've been wanting to like make my Froggy stuff, crafts and stuff like that, because I used to watch the channel as a kid, and so I was like, I shall make books, and then I could put them on my bookshelf, and that's why I made this bookshelf. But I don't think, even though there's so many, I think I counted like 100 and something books that I want to eventually print out. I'm not going to do it all at once because that is going to take up so much ink, but over time I will. I don't think that that's going to get me that much space. Like, I don't want to be dramatic, but I made a lot of shelving on here. I didn't even finish it yet because if you see, I feel like I need to add some more of these in, but we'll see how much I need. Anyways, let's begin on my thing that I think I'm gonna make the most of, because I think that this way I can like do different sizes and stuff. It also is gonna take forever, so let's start on it now. Hopefully you do not get my feet in this video. So for starting out, I'm gonna cut out a bunch of square sizes of like different sizes. So I don't want it to be any longer than this book. Specifically, I'd prefer it to be around some of the other heights, but whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna be using cardboard because I think I'm gonna have the most of it, but I have different size cardboards. So this one's like my thickest one. It's huge. Anyways, this book is okay, wait, where's the interest? I was just on it. I would like you to know. There we go. It is 1.5. Maybe, yeah. No, it's 1.5 inches long. So I don't want it to be any longer than that. It's actually marked. Fun little fact. So yeah. And then I would like it to be larger than this. And this is 1 inch. There's that much of a, okay. So in between that, I'm gonna have to grab a pencil somewhere, and I'm just gonna start cutting out pieces because I think that'll work best. And we can do different cardboard sizes and make them thicker, thinner, whatever. I do also have this foam board that I painted white that I just, you know, it also has paper on it, so I can also use this because leftover scraps and stuff. And I don't really know about the thickness. Obviously, I don't want it any thicker than what my shelves are, which is, I don't actually know how to measure them because I can't stick this in. What the heck? Actually, I'll measure here. It's about, what are you? Oh, the book is that big. I'm so sorry. I just have to look. It is. Okay, so it's a little bit under 1.5 inches, so I guess that'll kind of help. Anyways, I don't know. Let's just begin, I guess. Okay, so I've only made a few so far. I did cut up a bunch of pieces of cardboard, but I didn't finish the outsides, basically. I just took cardboard and wrapped it in paper, and if I wanted to, I painted it. Let's see how much space the ones that I've already made cover. I'm trying to put a few together so that I'm not just individually putting them in. And again, these cardboards are going to be filler until I get more like fun books in here. Yeah, and I could change like the different books and sizes, but I did just, you know, paint them so it'll add a little bit of diversity. And obviously another thing that I was thinking about doing is doing a few of them like this way, but right now, you know, like throughout the thing, but right now I'm gonna put them all up the same way and see. I just want to know if I can fill up one of these little cubes. I'm not going to. I only have 3 more books to put in there. I don't even know how many this has been, by the way. Let's push them all back because I didn't do that. Boop. Okay, maybe if I put the rest of these in there, they might be able to fit. I think that's all the ones that I've done so far. I don't know how many that is, but yeah, we have a long ways to go. Yeah. I made a few more. Let's see if we can fill the little space. Probably not. Here is 4. Sorry, a lot of just picking them up. And here is, ooh, I think we might have enough. Okay, here's 3. Boop. Boop. And 2 more. And they might not be stuffed in there, but I feel like that counts as fitting. Maybe I could put 1 more in there. And I'm hoping to make more. I still have some leftover cardboard cut up, plus some other ones that, oops, that can get cut into some pieces as well. So we'll continue to work on it. Obviously, it's gonna take a while. So I got my mini books in. I'll probably show them off in a different video, but they're incredibly small. So small, which like I expected them to be insanely small. Like here is this, okay, can you even see it? There we go. Compared to one of, oh my gosh, stop. Compared to one of these books, there we go. This is from the mini brands, and then the one in front is the ones that I ordered. I knew that they were going to be incredibly small. What I'm thinking is maybe cutting some of these in half and then doing 2. I'm not sure how it's going to look, but I might start maybe here. I guess I could do it here and see what it might look like. I just have to make sure that I'll be able to actually fit 2, because I don't think that I'll be able to fit 2 in every one. I will have to then paint them as well, which will be a little annoying, but that's okay. And let's see, because again, I do want to fill all of these. I did this one in one day. I'm hoping to do another maybe today, maybe not. It seems like a lot of work, but obviously I also have to add these in, so we'll see. Okay, I really like how this looks. I do think that I made them too colorful, so I might just tone them down a bit, but that's okay. And I can also scatter them. I love how that looks, and I don't think that that looks terrible, but I'll have to see what it looks like compared to other ones. But let's continue, because I do have, so I used up my first bag that I got, but I did get a much bigger one with more books. So let's fill up that little section, and I'm gonna keep them separate for now just because I didn't go over what I got in both bags. So I'm gonna keep them separate for now, but I might change that over. I really like how it looks. I do wish that they were a little bit bigger, but I think that they look okay for now. Okay, they kind of went back a little bit further than I would have liked back there, but here they are. So I put a piece of like thick cardboard in front of them, which is why I can push them back and they don't go that far back. Okay, but I think that they look really nice. I still have a decent amount more, so I put them on here and then also in my bag still. So a little bit more that I could probably fit into like a really small section. I also have to get these books on and any other little books that I find. So let's go see if I can fill up a little shelf maybe. Okay, I'm gonna be making more books. So I'm using My Froggy Stuff printables from the online. Anyways, so I printed off a few. Here's some, but there's different ones. The majority of them are probably gonna be like this. I'm gonna be using foam board. I ripped off the part because it was peeling up, because this is something that I was doing on a different project. Didn't work, didn't use it. So anyways, I do have more foam board if I need it, but I'm trying to use up this piece first. So we're gonna start by gluing stuff. I do have a glue stick, but it's running out. I did order more, but for the majority of them, I'm going to use this and hope for the best. Especially since the majority of them are going to be using foam board. When it's not foam board, I will use glue sticks. I think that'll be better, but the majority of them are going to be like this. So here's this printable that I already started cutting out. We also have this one. This one I'll be using the glue stick for because there's actual sheets. This one is both. Okay, and then where's the rest? Oh, over here. Then I also did print out one sheet of like a book with like more than one page, and I've also printed out this as well. So we're gonna start by doing some of these, okay, if that makes sense. Okay, so I cut this one out, then I put my book in, glue it obviously, and then cut off the remainder because there is a decent amount of remainder, but I did that on purpose. And these ones are the easiest to make. They obviously don't open and they don't have words inside, but I like these the best. So that's why I cut out a whole bunch, or made a whole bunch of them, but I like this method because they look nice on my bookshelf. So I'm gonna cut them out and put them on my shelf. They are glued down, so now it's time to cut out them and then glue these to it, okay? And I left the extra pieces on, but you'll probably end up having to cut them off. But I originally was cutting them off and then like shouldn't have done that. So I'll show you. Okay, so here are my pieces. I'm going to obviously fold on these lines here. But I have this paper. It's just thick paper, like, you know, scrapbooking paper. And I'm gonna glue these pieces to it. I individually cut them out, and then the other pieces that I have are the 2 pages. I did cut them in half because that's what's going to work the best. So here's all the papers that I've cut out. I gotta glue these. I'm gonna be using an Elmer's glue stick to see if it works better than my last one. I have made 9 books so far using the method that I was just showing. I have more to make obviously, but I'm gonna move on to this method. I have done it, and I feel like I did it wrong. I also think that if you use Elmer's glue, which is what I'm going to be using for them, that this is also going to maybe not be the best method. But that's okay. These ones also don't have words. I've noticed there's no like added, which I'm sure that I was supposed to print out something else, but I'm gonna make both, and I might just use foam board for both. These ones have words. I guess I'll do these ones. But this one has foam board. Okay, that's fine. So we'll do this one instead because it actually has words. If you use glue, I feel like it's gonna be stiffer, so I guess I'll try Elmer's glue. I didn't use it last time, but we'll try. So basically, I'm going to have everything cut out. Maybe I'll just cut out like this and then this, and then you leave that because you don't need it, which maybe I'll try that with my other stuff. Anyways, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, so I'm gonna just cut out this and then one of these pages so that I don't get lost. Okay, so then I cut them out and I folded these, and I'm gonna basically, I gotta remember to fold that line too, but I'm gonna set them in here, make sure that this is on that one line, and then put that one there, and then also glue these down, and I'll come back once that is done. Okay, I didn't watch any videos on these specifically when I get to this one. I also did not watch any videos for how to put this together because I've seen them and I was like, I feel like I could figure it out, but as I'm doing them, I'm second guessing myself, so probably should have watched some more videos again. Okay, here's this one. I think I have enough glue left in my glue stick to be able to do this, hopefully. So I'm gonna cut everything out. I assume this is a poster, so I'm gonna cut it out and just not do anything with it and just put it in the doll room just as is. Just on the floor for now, because I don't have walls in there. But nonetheless, I'm gonna cut this one out and see if I can do it. I didn't watch the video. I'm the most nervous for this one. Hopefully I can figure it out. I'm just most nervous about like do I have to glue the other pages in? Like, I know I can glue the outside, I'm confused. So I should have watched a video. There are many others that I can attempt to do this after watching the video, but I'm just gonna see if I can figure it out myself, okay? Okay, so then you fold everything accordion style, and there's two pieces that you have to glue together. And then basically when you start gluing, you're just gonna keep gluing them in. So you're gonna put glue here, squeeze them in, put glue here, squeeze them in, put glue here. Does that make sense? Okay. I folded on the lines. Okay, here's how it looks. Now I have to glue in the pages. One here and one there, and then we'll let it dry and I will show you how it looks at the end compared to my other one that I made. I do have more printables to and to cut out that I have already printed out, like this gets me in theory 6 books. If I do foam board for both, I didn't print out the word piece, so that is my assumption. Oh yeah, it says use with book filler. That this gives me the option of having 2 books, and I can use foam board, or technically I could use this and then just have them blank, but I'm thinking of just using foam board. If I do that, I don't really need this, so I don't know. But gives me 6 books. Same for the printable that's over there. Anyways, I'm gonna do another option of a way to fill up my bookshelf, okay? Because obviously I'm gonna need so many books. Again, here's what my bookshelf is looking like. A lot of empty shelves. I do have some books sitting on the ground that still needed to be added in there. But I'm gonna give some more options. Okay, now I'm letting that dry. And just like before, I'm gonna glue those pieces in here. And then once I've glued everything down, I'm gonna glue the template in, and hopefully everything is facing the right way. By coming back for each video, my hope is to fill up a single little shelf each time. So here's some of my froggy stuff I also put in the ones that I made. Again, I just maybe if I can grab one out, I didn't know where I put it, right here. I just took the little magazine cutout, and then I did the same thing that I did. I covered cardboard and paper, and then I did that, and then I wrote the little thing so that you know, I know what book it is. And then also, if you can see in the little corner next to the black and white, I put cardboard there because obviously books don't need to go all the way to the corner. I don't have enough books as it is. I'm trying to make them to fill up the space, so I've been putting cardboard in there, and I'm hoping that when I put them in, you won't be able to see them. But we'll see at the end of this how it looks, okay? The other option that you can do with the magazines is what I started doing here, but I made a little stand. Don't ask how I did it because I don't know. I just used a paper clip and kept bending until it stood flat, and then I placed my books on it. Even that one's like falling off a little bit, but anyways, I did the same thing, but then you can see the cover instead of just seeing like the side, and it, like, you know, a little bit of space. I guess I might position you a little bit more because they were all kind of like falling over. I think they need more books here. Anyways, I have more of those, but obviously I can do both ways. I can write some words here and then place it in the shelf. Not like that, but you get the idea, or place it like that so you can see the front of it. Obviously there's other books that have covers, like all of those have covers, but I painted them, not painted, but I colored the outside so it's kind of like a little bit bland there, and I think it just adds a little bit more, but we'll see. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna keep going and adding more books. I did obviously remove the ones from the top, so now I have to, I moved them here, but now I have to, you know, put more books in there, but we're getting somewhere. Okay, we're getting somewhere. The other option for finding books is magazines. So I I cut these out because they make a little series. I'm gonna see if I can do something with that. And then here, and then I have a whole sheet. Plus, I had more, but I have a feeling that I threw them away. If I can grab them all. I have 4 from other previous years that I cut out and then glued them here onto paper. And I'm curious if I'll be able to rip them off, or maybe just the first layer and then glue them onto foam board or a different cardboard with paper. I don't know. We'll see what I come up with. But this gives me some options. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to finish all of my Froggy Stuff books that I currently have printed out before we continue on to making random stuff. Obviously, I can still print out more, but I don't want to, like, I don't know, do a million. I like the idea of slowly adding them in, especially because there's some Christmas ones and I can do some Christmas crafts, you know, that kind of vibe. But I have quite a few still printed out, so let's start making them. They're finished and they're all going on my shelf. Does it look perfect? No, but you know, that's okay. I did even include the notebooks. I'll be putting them on the shelf as well. I just think that they look cute. So yeah. Okay, so the back wall is coming along pretty well. I'm obviously making some more progress in filling some more stuff up, which is exciting. Some of them are a little bolder than others, but I also made these little corner things so that I don't put books back there. They're just 2 cardboard pieces, and I have it right in the corner here, and I think it looks nice. And like, you can't really see it. Obviously you can see it on the end here, but like once more books are there, but I have to finish making them for that side. I did paint them just because I wanted to, but here they are. These ones are a little bit different, but I liked that you could see like extra books, so I think I'm gonna keep it in. If it bothers me too much, I can obviously, you know, do whatever, but I added another shelf here and I'm letting it dry so that I can finish putting the rest of the books on it that I have. But also, I made these little ones that were printables. They're just a part of, I don't remember what the actual thing was called, but they were with these. Anyways, and I think they're gonna fit on the shelf, so that's really nice. And I didn't know if I'll have enough, so obviously I can print out some more stuff, but we'll see if I can fill up that little tiny shelf, just a little one. Okay, so I put all the books in. I've run out. The cardboard behind it is because these books are so small that I have to put a piece of cardboard so that they stay to the front. So that's why they're like this. Can you tell where my other books are? I feel like it's not insanely noticeable, but like, I feel like you can tell. One says 1/6 and the other says mini, but nonetheless, they look adorable. I do have to add some stuff to this spot. Obviously, I could get more books if I wanted to, but I already have so many of like those little ones. They're adorable. Anyways, let's keep making more books.